All right, we've covered quite a bit up to this point, a lot of fundamentals of programming with Python. Now it's time for your first project. I want you to practice a little bit of what we've done so far to be able to create the next project that you're going to get into. I'm going to call this one the Python Magic 8 Ball. Now, I'm going to give you a preview of what I'm going to ask you to create. Okay? You're going to see what it does here. And then in the next section, right after this lecture, I'm going to give you some instructions to go through. It's just going to be written instructions. You can go through and accomplish it on your own. And I'm going to leave it up to you how you do this, because I want you to experiment with what we've talked about so far. Using variables, using lists, using if structures, using loops, whatever it might be. You get to decide how you want to go about and create this. And there's going to be many different ways to do it. You could be really elaborate with it. You could be really quick and concise and efficient with it. Doesn't matter. That's one of the beauties of programming. There's always multiple ways to do stuff. Some might be more efficient than others. We can argue that, but that's the way it goes. So here's what I'm going to ask you to create. Here's a quick preview. So I've created a Python file. And I've executed it here. Just double click on it, opens it up. And here I have it inside of the command window. Now, it's got some text and it just says, ask a question. Press enter to quit. If I just hit my enter key, that's it. The game's over with. Okay? There's a requirement for you. And I'll discuss all this inside a written form in the next lecture. Now, the point is, I want to be able to ask it a question. Okay? Let's see. Let's click into that window. Is Python awesome? Awesome. All right, there you go. There's my question. Now I'm going to hit the enter key, and in the background, the Python Magic 8 Ball is going to do its magic, and it's going to return one of 8 different choices back. Okay? You ever mess with one of those Magic 8 Balls? Go grab it in the store, ask it a question, and then flip it over, and it gives you a response. So I'm going to hit my enter key. It is decidedly so. Yes, Python is awesome. I can ask it another question. Let's see. Am I going to strike it rich? All right, let's find out. I'm going to hit my enter key. As I see it, yes. All right, so you ask it a question, hit your enter key, and the little program in the background is going through and it's going to give a response. All right, so that's the project overview right there. That's what you're going to create. Now, get into the next lecture because I'm going to give you some written instructions to go through and accomplish this. I'm going to give you some requirements, okay, that you got to follow, the proper responses it should give back, and so on. I'll give you some tips inside of there as well. You go out, you create it using the knowledge that you have, what we've discussed up to this point, and I want you to create this little Python Magic 8 Ball. Now, after the written instructions and after you give yourself plenty of time to go through and practice and create this little project, I want you to share it. Go to the Q&A section of the course and leave screenshots. Show us what your code looks like. Ask your questions. If you get stuck on something, please ask your questions. That's what I'm here for. Not only do I create the videos, but I go through and I read every question that comes through and I reply to all of them. I make that a goal of myself. Sometimes other students get in there and reply as well, and I definitely appreciate that. Share the knowledge that you have. So find that QA section, create the little project, share it with us, right? Now, if you get stuck someplace, again, ask your questions in the Q&A section as well. Also, the next few videos, I'm going to give you a solution, one solution. Others might come up with other solutions. Again, that's totally fine. It's one of the beauties of this. Multiple ways to do just about everything. So complete the project, ask your question, share what you've learned, share your project, screenshots, code samples, whatever, and take a look at the solution file as well if you get stuck. All right, so you ready? Go.